I want to go to the California story here since you brought it up. California homeowners face an insurance crisis. What will it mean for home prices in the state? State Farm decision to not renew 72,000 existing insurance policies in California, representing 2% of its state's policies, adds to the list of insurers, including Allstate, Farmers Insurance, Hartford, and USAA, withdrawn from the state due to increased wildfire risk, exasperating concerns over extreme weather conditions driven by climate change. Here we go, Mark. The insurance industry's pullback from California is anticipated to have significant repercussions on the real estate market, potentially leading to a slowdown in demand and falling home prices, with a 2023 study by CoreLogic indicating that every 10-point increase in wildfire risk results in a 1.3% decrease in home price in San Diego County. So every 10% increase in wildfire decrease 1.3%. Interesting. Rising insurance premiums, with the average annual premium for single-family homes in U.S. reaching $1,522 in 2023, according to Freddie Mac, contributes to homeowners' financial burdens, prompting some to consider moving to other states to evade premium hikes. Chris.
So, subject to what Tom has to say about this, insurance rates are one of the least discussed economic impact stories in society right now. People are getting killed on insurance rates. It's becoming unaffordable for them. The default rate is going nuts, and you're seeing it across the board, not just homeowners insurance, car insurance. They're even letting their life insurance policies lapse, even term ones.
I have an idea for those people, by the way, if they ever need anything. But continue. Go ahead.
So this is one of those things about where the industry has too much leverage over the politicians making the policies. There's something about insurance that's different. I'm a free market guy. I'm a capitalist guy. I believe in it. I believe in it's the central value of American society. But. When you have this much leverage over people, I don't think you get to walk away. Because what happens to these homeowners now? Mm-hmm. What is the state going to have to get into the insurance business? Because what are you going to do? Well, you don't control wildfires. Oh, well, then don't live there. But that's not a reasonable.
So actually, a very good point.
So that's my concern.
Yeah.
This has bothered me for a while. And in fact, I'll say something that I probably shouldn't.
Do it.
I have had this happen to me because I am a lawsuit risk, right? Not just because you're going to slip and fall in my house. The umbrella coverage is civil liability, period. So, you know, the next time Vinny and I go out and I don't like what somebody says about him and we get into something and they say 9 bones in their face are broken and they say, that's my insurance. I got dropped. Nothing even happened. But the risk was assessed. And look, I was able to get other coverage. It wasn't easy, and it cost me about 35% more. But they're doing this a lot now. So they are looking at their P&L and deciding, you know what, Pat's not worth it. And I think the industry gets too much protection already and has too much leverage already to be able to make these capricious decisions that are just on the basis of P&L. Now, you'd say, well, that's capitalism. I know, but they get so many protections, and they're so built into an adjunct of being the state already that I think they have a responsibility to cover people.
But by the way, while you're saying that, Rob, pull up both articles, both CNBC articles. So this is one. The average cost for a full car insurance went up 26% in 2020. That's a lot of money,
we're talking about groceries and gas, which are very real, but 26%.
What is the average car? So right there, it tells you car insurance costs have risen
$2,500.
Mine's ridiculous.
In fact, according to Bankrate, the average annual premium for car insurance rose to $2,500 in 2020 for up 20. So $2,500 would be, it used to be $2,000. So that's a $500 increase. That's a lot of money. And then go to the other one, Rob. Go to the other one, CNBC. And this one says what homeowners insurance rates skyrocketed in these 10 states. Here's how to lower your premium. So homeowners insurance is another one. What are the 10 states that it's saying it skyrocketed? Let's see if it says it or not. Okay, there they are. So let's see. Louisiana. Holy shit.
Yep.
Damn, Rob. 63%. Nebraska, 61%. Keep going. Colorado, 49%. Arizona 40%, Utah 37%, Illinois 35%, DC 33%, Dakota 33%, Arkansas 32, Kansas 32. It's a lot of money.
And look,
That's
and my
increasing.
next layer of the complaint is this. One, this is the only industry, maybe the healthcare industry to a different degree, where they don't pay the whole vig anyway, Pat, because you get all this state and federal aid into disaster areas that comes in, right? And the other thing they do, which is also in the health insurance company, they slow walk you to death. I don't know, I've dealt with a lot of disaster areas, obviously, and there's a good buddy I made through a disaster in Louisiana where he was talking about, he would keep contacting me and saying, they're still not coming. The adjuster came because the state officials make them come, but then they disappeared. Weeks, months, no cash coming in. Your house has a hole in the top. It's a sponge. And they slow walk it. So you need your money up front. If you're late by a day, they default you.
When do they have to pay you, by the way?
They don't. They don't. You have to sue. Who has money and time to sue when you have no house? When you're living in a hotel and everybody's going crazy and you're trying to keep your job, they leverage you. So my point is, at what point do you push back and say, look, I get that it's free market. I get it. But you have so much artificial support on your side already. How do you balance the equities at some point? And that's where I think we're getting to as a tipping point. Now, nobody talks about it for two reasons.
Okay, so there's one I just want to keep going. I want to talk about this. Keep going.
One is it's complicated, right? And two, the parties don't see an advantage over the other one in the issue. If I were able to say, and it's Vinny's fault, punk Vinny, this is why you vote for me. Vinny's their guy. They give money to all of us.
Everybody,
So nobody sees it as an advantage, so they're quiet on it. And it's killing people. It's killing
Yeah, I
people.
just typed in right now, what's the speed homeowners insurance has to pay out, okay? And he'll pull it up here. D.C., no set time limit, makes sense. Florida's 90 days, okay? Hawaii is 30 days. Georgia's 10 days. Zoom in a little bit. Interesting that Georgia's...
Wait, but what does it say? Make a payment?
After accepting a claim, insurance must make a
payment.
Not the full payment.
Not full payment. Payment.
Fool me once, Cuomo.
Got it. So that, keep going a little lower. So California, 30, no set time limit. D.C., no set time limit. Florida, 90 days. Georgia, 10 days. Do you see a difference between blue and red, or it's irrelevant with the reds? Because right now the lowest one is what? Lowest one was 10 days,
10
which
days.
is what, Georgia. That's red. But Florida is also red, and that's 90 days. So it's not really a political thing. It's just laws by difference. They go a little lower to see what a New York would be, and some, so 15 days, Maryland, Michigan, 60 days, Minnesota, 5 days. Damn, okay, that makes sense.
A payment.
Yeah, just the
Not
payment.
the whole payment.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm sure they found ways around it. The lobbying group is huge and well-funded. They give money to all the politicians.
You know how life insurance works? Life insurance is actually very fast. Some of them will work to, like, let's just say, I've had clients, I've written their policies where their urine sample came up that when they went to the bathroom to pee, you don't go as an agent and say, let me see what you're doing. It's not like the military. So, they bring you back. One of the ones they found that because it was in the incontestability phase, the 2 years, that it was the brother who peed. Okay? So guess what? They just gave the premium back, no death benefit when the guy passed away. But for life insurance, after 2 years, the contestability clause is gone. You died after the 2-year mark of you buying an insurance policy. Say the death certificate, boom, checks coming your way. Life insurance works very quickly.
Well, I'm obviously very familiar with the 2-year contestability mark, though. I'm in the insurance business. Very familiar with that. Here's my methodology, and then I actually have to go take a urine sample for an insurance policy.
Go for it. I got to pee too.
Because maybe I've just in the insurance business, and I understand this is my methodology. It's not going to work for everyone. Certainly not going to work for people with kids. But if you're a guy like Vinny, or if you don't have kids, or you don't have the responsibilities that some certain people have, it's almost like the Wizard of Oz. You see the movie, The Wizard of Oz. He's a big scary guy. You peel back the curtain. You're like, what? This is what's going on back here? When it comes to buying a car, who doesn't want a nice car? Go look at what the insurance premiums are on cars these days. Go look at what the cost of a new car is these days. Go look at what the cost of a used car or a lease is. Ridiculous. Highest of all time. House, who doesn't want a nice house? Vinny's been talking about a house since the day he got here. Good luck with these insurance premiums. What they don't tell you is that when you go to buy a house, there's the big 3 expenses. I've talked about this before. Your taxes, your maintenance, and your insurance. None of that is sexy to pay for. 0 of that.
HOA?
But that's what's going to crush you.
Question for you. How
Yes,
much
sir.
you spend on Uber every month?
Less than I would for a nice car.
No, I'm asking you.
Yes.
Well, what do you spend?
Between $500 and $1,000 bucks.
How much is the Uber coming up here from Miami?
About $40.
Okay, so it's not 540.
But it's also the cost of doing business. Today,
hang on.
I-95 was...
Hang on. I'm asking you a question. Hang on. So $40 up here,
With the
$40
tip,
going
with
back.
the tip, with
so
the
that's
tip.
80, right? So that's how many times you're up here?
No,
2 times?
I get a ride home.
You get a ride home.
Yeah.
So you come up, but you get a ride home.
Yes.
Okay.
Every time.
So let's just say you get it every time you go home? Or 50% of the time? Let's say 50. I do 60.
50% of the time, every time.
Okay. So 60, how many times you're up here? 3 times?
About 3 days a week, yes.
Okay, so that's times 3, times 4. 720 is your car.
With no
your
tip, though,
Uber.
Pat. No tip.
I'm
You have
just
to tip.
using them at a 60.
Okay.
And then whatever you're doing there. So you're spending around $1,000 on Uber.
Yeah, how much do you think I'm going to spend on
I
a
know.
nice Porsche?
Let me do
that.
that, buddy. Relax, bro. So if you take $1,000 a month you're doing on Uber, then the argument becomes, so if you're doing 1,000 on Uber, let's say you're doing 1,200. You buy a brand new car right now, it's probably going to cost you, the car you're going to buy, it's probably going to be $1,200. So, and the insurance $400. So he's probably right.
And the parking,
For a
and
guy
the gas,
like him,
and the title, and the maintenance, and the, God forbid.
Yeah, and the gas, and the maintenance, and all that stuff.
But here's the one caveat.
For a guy like you, when you go on dates, how do you do it?
Listen, let me reveal my sources.
Hang on.
I pay for their Uber and they come to where I'm at. That's done. The days of the 90s, like, I'll pick you up at your door at 8 p.m. That's done.
Adam goes like this.
I'll grab
Meet
your
me in my
Uber.
house.
But I'm actually asking you a real question because it's pre my time.
Sure.
So if you're going on a date, you simply tell her to meet you where you're going,
The Uber's picking her up. Be ready at 8. The Uber will be there at 8:05.
and then I'll meet you where I'm going.
They're coming to my place.
No, but if you're going to dinner, because you don't even take them to dinner.
Of course they'll go to dinner.
Don't you tell the pimp and he takes care of all that?
Tom, this guy hasn't been late since now. He's always got the best
That's
jokes.
got a sting.
But the question, Vinny, the question I got is, let me ask you this: how old's your oldest daughter?
We're going from this conversation to my daughter?
You'll see where I'm going with this.
All right, good. Be careful.
I know.
21.
Okay, so 21. So let me ask you, as a father,
Not going out with Adam, by the way.
But that's what I'm asking, though. But hang on one second. Let's just say I'm trying to see if like this is what fathers and so let's say your daughter says, "Dad, he sent an Uber to pick me up."
No.
Why though? What's wrong with that? He's saying that's the direction everything is going.
You want the truth?
Yeah.
I'll give you the truth, okay?
You can't handle the truth.
My feeling is you have to meet me, okay? You have to see
Not the girls he's dating.
in my eyes
What do you think I'm
what
dating
this
out here,
means
guys?
to me.
Respectable, beautiful women.
Okay? So this guy comes to the house to pick up the kid. And my daughter, very strong kid, can talk to me anyway. You know how it is with your daughter. They can say whatever they want. It doesn't matter. You just love them more. So she has already warned me off, like put a shirt on. I don't want to see you walking out there with the arms. I don't want to see any.
Put the gun away.
I said,
Dad.
okay. This kid, I come walking out. He's in like his parents' car, right? Some fancy SUV. I look into the window. I look at his eyes. I believe they're glassy. Okay? I say, you come to my house? You smoking weed? You come to my house? You think you're going to pick up my daughter? That's all I say.
Christ.
He could have answered the question, no, I haven't been smoking. His eyes fill with tears, this kid. I say, now I got a problem. So I turn around, I walk back into the house, and she is now going the other way to say hello to him.
Oh, no.
I get to my wife, luckily, before Bella comes back in the house. I said, listen, the kid's crying. But in fairness, I don't think it's my fault. I think that something...
Why is he crying,
I
Cuomo?
said something was going on with this kid. I think, maybe he was a little, lit up or something. But I don't want her in the car with him, all right? And she comes in the house, lights me up. I was, and she was upset. In my mind, I have to see the boy. And I have to understand that he understands that this matters. This is not just some other. This is not just some other chick, and it matters to me. So she's not going anywhere in an Uber, and I'm not some caveman. My daughter goes wherever she wants. She's right now going on spring break with just another girlfriend. They're going to Mexico. I wasn't in favor of it. She said she wanted to. She showed me the checklist of where they're going, and it's a closed facility. She goes. I'm not some caveman dad. But I believe that that women have to drive the dynamic. And if you send the message to this guy that it's going to go his way all the time, like this is how it is, you're going to come to him like your Chinese food. It doesn't work.
What the hell do you mean the woman has to drive the dynamic?
As a woman, you have to know. You know the expression "know your worth."
Yeah.
If some suave guy like you can get me to do everything you want me to do, what message is it sending you? I'm already a fungible good to you. You got women all over you all the time. I have to let you know that you have to respect me and treat me differently.
What part of there's no disrespect? Let me tell you how women operate, and you know this because you're a good-looking suave dude. What women
That's a fair
want,
point.
Very fair.
That's probably
fair
the
point,
truest.
Vinny.
Here's how women want to operate.
Let me tell you how women want to operate.
Yeah.
Married man
Times
with
have
kids.
changed. Been married
Listen,
man
bro.
for 20 years.
There
Been
we
out of the
go.
game. A woman wants to hear this. We're going to go out for dinner tonight. We're going to have a great time. We're going to go all over town. We're going to have the best time of your life. Be beautiful. Be ready by 8. I'll pick you up. You know what they say? I'll be ready by 8. They're never going to give you a speech. I know my worth. You're going to take me out.
No, but that's all fine.
that
What you
doesn't
just
happen.
said. That's different than
Yes.
I'm sending an Uber to you. You come meet me at the club. I'll be in the back.
times have changed.
Make sure you grab a sandwich on the way.
Well, wait, hold
The
on.
day-
The times have changed for you in Miami, but normally
I'm
a
not,
guy
I'm not
goes picks
hanging
up the
out in
girl.
Topeka, Kansas. I'm talking about if you're in LA, if you're in Miami, if you're in New York. Cuomo, you live in New York. No one has cars in New York. They're all Ubering. What are you talking
But
about?
come get them.
Yeah, well, that's a
Sure.
Yeah, but the conversation in the
Okay.
car, the
That's all I'm
conversation in the
saying.
ride, the whole that whole
BBD
romance.
said send an Uber for me.
Yeah, but what? And you're probably raised your daughter better than most people out there. Most daughters who are 21, you think they're even telling their father they're going out on some date? Think a 20. She's 21. You think a
you know what just
25 or
happened right
30-year-old
there?
woman is asking?
What
that
if she
approval?
falls in love
From
with the
dad?
Uber driver,
You're
Adam?
thinking of a 21-year-old, not a 28-year-old.
Tom, can we get Tom's?
That's fair.
Tom, what are your thoughts?
We're talking about two different stages of life. What Chris is talking about, and I have a daughter who's going to be 18 in June. And we're talking about the establishment phase. When he is setting that up with his daughter, what he is saying to her is you have value and you should accept nothing short of certain standards for how you'll be treated and respected as a person. And I've said this before and you've heard it. The number one thing that I've always instilled in my daughters is teach them the ability to reason and resist, to reason with the situation and resist the things that are not good for you, putting a platform of personal value and respect underneath that. And I've always hoped that if I could just put a platform of value, respect on their heart and teach them to reason and respect with their mind, if I'm on the wrong plane tomorrow, then I've given them the tools to grow and mature in a world where not all men are noble princes. Not all men are respectful people. And roofies exist in college at parties. And I've put them in a position to get through that. So at this stage, Adam, we're talking about, I would have been the same way. I would have gone out and said, excuse me, if I would have walked up politely and just knocked on the window and said, hey, why don't you walk inside just for a second? I want to say hello. He knows how I am. And if the guy doesn't want to get out of the car, I would be like,
Tom,
if the guy doesn't, by the way,
Tom, one quick
with
thing that I want to ask
16,
Cuomo.
17-year-old girl
Yes.
on a date and
Guys,
he doesn't want to walk up to the
talking
front
about
door.
teenagers and you guys deal with that nonsense. I'm talking about grown-up stuff, guys. Here, guys.
That's what we were
23
talking
plus.
about. You changed the
Okay, I'm
topic, Princess.
And by the way,
Ooh, princess.
yeah, the toughest
That's
guy.
got to stay.
You said
Tom,
23 plus?
I'm just
No,
saying,
but
these aren't guys. Deal with your teenagers and your.
No,
high
I'm saying,
school
what
kids.
about you never dated a
I'm
21-year-old?
saying-
Oh, deal with. It's called grow, develop, and
but
lead.
That's not
Excuse
what
me.
I'm talking about.
but
I'm talking
this-
about the villainizing of dudes out here that we're all just roofing girls and
didn't
take
say
advantage of women. 99% of men are fucking great dudes, and the fact that you just want to villainize men,
That's way too high.
That's
you think
way
so?
too.
I think men are being villainized. I think men are under attack. I think being masculine is under attack. I agree with you with all of that. People in general are amoral and self-interested. That certainly goes for men, especially once you input sex.
I agree with you, but you know who needs to G-check the men? The other men. If
Yes.
you're around a group of dudes and there's 10 of us, hey, this is what we're going to do tonight, and one guy gets out of line and he's like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'm
guy?
with you.
The
I'm with
girls
you.
aren't going to know that.
But I don't like PBD shaking his head saying, I don't know. You're going to let your daughter jump into an Uber that somebody sent her to meet him at the club?
Oh, bro. No. Like, just, you don't even know what it's doing to me.
I'll be over here if you need me.
Thought if somebody
Jesus.
comes up to want to pick up the girls and send an Uber, oh, bro, it is horrible with me. I'm angry right now just the thought
Okay,
of it.
and here's the thing, Adam, to go to your point.
Somebody, but by the way, let me tell you, you guys we didn't know each other when we were in our early 20s. We didn't party with each other. We're all like, oh, family, the 4 kids. But you don't know who I was at 18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
I've seen the pictures.
I'm as opportunistic as any 22-year-old. So if you're naive, a fool, and an idiot, hey, and you're above 18 years old, 20, I get it. Let's go to the club. Let's do that. Totally get that. But the difference is if you're wanting to play to have fun versus if you want to have a family. Those are two different stories.
Yes.
If you want to play, have fun, and book and score and have, whatever that is, game. But if you want to impress a girl's father that's going to be your father-in-law to be with that family, knowing you're going to one day ask for her hand, and that's going to be your father-in-law,
Very different.
possibly a father role in your life that you're going to be friends with, because that man's, I'm planning on being that guy's friend.
Sure.
I'm planning on being Senna and Brooklyn's husband's good friend and back him up and making sure I'm developing them as a leader as well, and we can go to dinner together and a game, and just he and I, we can enjoy each other's company. I'm looking forward to being that kind of a father-in-law. And to have that, if you're looking for that, yeah, it's just not, and it's just not going to do it for me. Now, if you're playing, do it. Go for it. Do whatever you want to do with the playing stuff. But if you're looking to build a family and you want to impress that family that you could one day, because think about it this way. What if all of a sudden someone's daughter is going on a date with you and this man runs a billion-dollar company and you and him are in each other's lives for 15 years. He's now 80 years old and he's only got 3 girls and none of the girls want to run a company, and you're the most capable son, and he's sitting there saying, you know what, I can keep it in the family. This guy can probably run the business because his kids are my grandkids and one day they're going to run it. You know what I want you? There's I don't know.
Yeah, well, Mr. Diamond,
Yeah.
if you're interested. But what I would tell you is this, because we're saying the same thing. It's just it has to do with one thing, and that's age. If you're talking teenagers, college, everything you're saying is inappropriate. But here's the reality, guys. Marriage used to happen in the early 20s. Now it's in the late 20s for men and women. So everything you're talking about, marriage, kids, family, that's not happening at 16, 18, 21, 22. It's happening when they're out of the house. They're making their own decisions.
Go to the bathroom, bro. Go to the bathroom.
go
We're gonna
pee.
go to the
I got a date, guys. I'll
But
see you later. Pick them up in an Uber.
I'll tell you what, though, and I don't want people, because I'm new to the team. I've watched Adam when we're out, and I love everything about you.
Thank you, bro.
So it's not about you. You showed up to my house to take out my daughter. It would be a different proposition.
Yeah, I'm crying already. I got to leave right now.
Yeah, go do your thing. Go handle your business.
And
All
if
right,
you
let's go to
smelled
the-
like Vinny, forget it. I'd make you dinner
You've been
first.
smelling Vinny all day.
You wouldn't
What's
have
going on?
to, you wouldn't have to take
cologne.
my daughter
You've
out
been
to
hanging
dinner.
out with
I'd
Don
make
Lemon
dinner.
a little too much.